And we are live here. Welcome to a special podcast edition here of Lowco Golf, locosports.com. And we're glad to have you with us. We are about to recap the first round of the CJ Cup in South Carolina. Wes Kerr joined, as always, by Brian Rietveld. And Brian, I wasn't able to get to the course today, but you were. And it was an outstanding first round. A pair of leaders on top after 18 holes. Trey Mullinex and Gary Woodland shooting a 6-under 65 to lead the pace over in Congaree. Some low scores across the board, and I was kind of impressed by some of the totals that were put out there today. And just your overall thoughts on what's been a fantastic first day of the CJ Cup, which I have been looking forward to since it was announced this summer, and these golfers have come to play here in October. And just your overall impressions of a great first round.
Yeah, what's up, Wes? Let's talk some golf, baby. It was beautiful out there. It was perfect conditions. It was gentle wind, like 67 degrees from the afternoon on. And like you said, it was a little bit lower scores. Nobody took it super deep. 6 under, very respectable 65s, just like you said, by Woodland and Mullinex. Obviously, everybody thought those two would be at the top, right? So they took it low, but nothing super deep. Everybody is still, for the most part, anybody that is even or better is still in the mix here. But an absolutely beautiful day. It was not quite as firm out there. And I think that's part of why the scores may have been a little bit on the stronger side. I think that we're going to see it get a little crispier. I think they may push it a little bit more towards the weekend.
Yeah, that's a big factor. I mean, we were talking about going in that, this course was going to be firm and you're going to see those tough bounces and going to contribute to maybe some higher scoring. But we saw some things on the opposite side. It didn't bounce as hard as maybe as we thought. It wasn't as firm. So some golfers able to produce and put up some nice scores led by Trey Mullinex and Gary Woodland. Woodland, of course, the 2019 U.S. Open champion back at Pebble Beach, both shooting very nice 65s to share that lead at 6 under. A couple guys at -5, including 6 players in total. Aaron Wise up there, Wyndham Clark, Tom Kim, who was one of the special Koreans that's playing in this event. So that's cool to see. Kim, who's really a rising star, a young guy who has really come into his own, and really excited to see him and his development here. And he's certainly taken things by storm so far. And then Rory McIlroy, the leading star here, coming into this event, the main attraction, if you will. He was the man that was announced at the media day, and he was, of course, the defending champ of this event when it was played in Las Vegas. And excellent start for McIlroy, 5 under. And some Thursdays, it seems like he hasn't gotten out to that strong start, but this Thursday, it's been different. A very good first 18 holes for McIlroy. 3 straight birdies from 4 through 6, and he really got going there on that front 9, bogey-free round. So excellent start for Rory. Cam Davis also with the 5 under par, and then Kurt Kitayama. So some names we didn't expect to be right there in the top 10 at -5. A couple more guys at 4 under. Victor Hovland, one of our kind of sleeper picks here. So Hovland with a nice start to his tournament. Siwoo Kim at -4. Taylor Moore, Terrell Hatton, who once again is somebody who seems like to be always up there at the top of these leaderboards. So we've seen it a couple of heritages in the past, and alongside Seamus Power and Sung J M. So a good leaderboard so far, and obviously this one it's deep. I mean, there's a bunch of names at -3, then -2. So it's hard to really make any conclusions yet after this first round, but any names that stand out to you in particular?
I mean, just starting at the top there, obviously nobody picked Mullinex or Woodland to be at the top of the leaderboard here. I mean, Woodland has played just very, very poor golf, honestly. Only 2 top 30s in the past 5 or 6 months or so. So it's good to see him back, getting back into form. He finished strong with a couple of birdies coming in. And then Mullinex, he's a bomber off the tee, and he just played great golf today. But again, he's missed his last 2 cuts. So it's not like he was coming into form into this tournament with much form whatsoever. But he lit it up today. More power to him. 7 birdies, only that 1 bogey. And obviously, I mean, Rory just put on a clinic out there. Not necessarily the best putter on Bermuda, but he did perfectly fine, just like you said, bogey free. And he's right in the mix. In fact, per Data Golf, he is the favorite by about 24% to win this tournament as it stands. So very stacked and very logjam there in second place. But I still got my eye, Wes. You know who I got my eye on? I got my eye on my boy. I think Lord Terrell Hatton. I think he's on the prowl there.
Yeah, he's lurking. He's lurking right there. Yeah, a really good start for Hatton, and that was a great pick. And I mean, you were the one who called Garrick last time, so wouldn't that be something if you make it 2 for 2 over here at Congaree? It's possible. Hatton is off to a nice start, and he's going to be the guy who's going to find a way to stay in contention until the very end. So a good pick there, Matty Fitzpatrick at -1, but still wise to go for him. I mean, still nestled right in that pack, and man, it's deep, and it's very unpredictable. I mean, second round is going to be huge. Obviously, there's no cut, but still, I mean, in terms of moving and positioning, you want to be at least a few strokes back or closer if you want to make that move into the weekend. So should be exciting as we move forward. But yeah, roll tide roll for Trey Mullibex from Alabama. Nice start for him, and then a good story for Gary Woodland. I mean, he was a fan favorite, especially after he won that U.S. Open. Just a great story when he won that at Pebble. That was a fantastic victory for him, breakthrough win, and it's great to see him thriving again. And he didn't play last week. He withdrew from the Shriners Open after a back injury early in the month. So just awesome to see him back on the course and playing some outstanding golf.
Yeah, and those are 2 bombers up there at the top. If you can keep the ball in the fairway and get those angles, you're going to be fine. And I think today you saw a lot of those golfers, especially the ones in the morning, they kept the ball in the fairway and they scored. So that is the key. You need distance, but you got to be in the fairway or in that rough. Once you start getting into that waist bunker area and behind those trees, you're going to find yourself in jail. That happened to Hatton on, I believe it was 16, and that led to a late bogey for him. And once you get those trees involved, if you go a little left or a little bit right, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's all about control. I mean, it's important to hit it far, but you have to be accurate off the tee, and certainly this course is going to punish you if you don't do that. And we saw Molnex and some others really do a good job of avoiding those mistakes in this first round. So accuracy is a premium. It's very important in this event, and definitely going to separate the leaders from the guys a little while back. So let's bring in our good friend and correspondent, Trace Lothar. And Trace, a great golf fan and a great contributor over the years to Lowco Sports. And how are you feeling about this CJ Cup so far? Certainly hard to predict still at this stage after the first round, but kind of anything that has caught your eye from what you've seen?
Man, I'm excited. I'm glad it's finally here. We've been waiting, especially as a Ridgelander myself, born and raised in Ridgeland. It's always exciting when we get a PGA Tour tournament in Congaree. I'm excited. I wasn't there today, and I won't be there tomorrow, but I'll be out there Saturday and Sunday. So I'm excited to go out and see the top players in the world compete. But Brian, you said that the big hitters are going to be at the top of the leaderboard, and you see that in the leaderboard early on. I was impressed with Tom Kim because he's not necessarily a huge, long hitter. I know my cousin was out there today, and he said that him and Rory were playing together. He said Rory was hitting it 50 yards past him every single hole. So. Still an impressive, 5 under 66 for Tom Kim today. But coming off of a heritage that Jordan Spieth won, and we've talked about, I know, Brian, you've mentioned it before, but talking about how huge that is for the heritage to have a champion like Jordan Spieth, who household name, who can, be sort of that ambassador for the tournament. How just awesome would it be for the Low Country, for Congaree, for the future of potential more PGA Tour events coming to Congaree if Rory McIlroy became the champion? That's just the only thing that's been going through my mind. I'm a big Rory fan anyways, and man, I would just love to see him come out on top. It's so early, but I would love to just see. I think that would be just awesome, not only for Congaree Golf Club, but for the entire Low Country.
That would be massive to have a champion like that who's of high prestige and one of the most widely known golfers in the world to be a champion here in the Low Country. And it would do just wonders. And of course, for Congaree to have that big name associated with its events going forward, and it's Rory's the defending champ, and it's just awesome to see him compete here in the Low Country, and it would be a dream to see him win. I mean, absolutely my same thoughts here. Rory is someone who so many of us have been looking up to for a long time when he came up the ranks, and always been so admired by his play, and just to have that prestige of one of the best golfers in the past decade win a tournament like this. I mean, that's just going to put so much shed so much more of a light here. And when you have a big name winner like that, I mean, we saw that in the Heritage. I mean, Jordan Spieth, and we've seen some big names in the past, Jim Furyk, Davis Love, but Spieth winning the Heritage was huge. I think it's only going to enhance the field even further. And on top of that, of course, it's going to be an enhanced event. We're going to have a bigger prize payout. Purse is going to be over north of 20 million this year, which that news just came out earlier this week. So already looking forward to Heritage, but how awesome would it be to see Rory win this? Obviously, you can't really, it's maybe you should pick favorites if you're reporting on it or covering it, but it's always good to root for the story. And I don't think there's a better story than Rory coming and winning this thing. So Brian, I want to get back to you. You were able to get out the Congaree and watch some golf. Who were you able to see? Which players did you follow here in round one?
First off, if anybody out there can get there tomorrow, it's amazing. Like, obviously the past couple of Heritages, we've had some amazing fields, but this field is it's stacked. It's one after another. And, I found myself just sitting there with JT and Rom, and it was me and like two other people watching them. It's something that you just don't experience, right? And so get out there tomorrow if you can. It's going to be another Chamber of Commerce day, just absolutely beautiful. But I followed Rom and JT around for a little bit. I of course followed Terrell around for a few holes because I knew there would be some drama, which there was. He called out a volunteer. The volunteer allegedly said he sucked. I didn't hear it, but Terrell swears that it happened. So that was great drama. And just like you said, I got to check out Rory and Tom Kim. And, Kim is just maybe the hottest golfer in the world right now, ever since the President's Cup. That guy is on fire. And just to echo what you guys said, it will be electric this weekend if Rory is in the mix. It will be electric. Yeah. He's the best golfer of this generation. He may not end up with the most majors, but he's the best and most influential.
I'm just imagining it right here, the crowd on Sunday. If Rory's, it doesn't matter where you are. If Rory's in contention, it is going to be absolutely lit down the stretch there. And that would be a dream to cover something like this, even though it's not, might be the biggest tier tournament. Rory winning a PGA Tour event here on Low Country soil would be just incredible. So it's certainly possible. As you said, the numbers are looking like he will be the favorite going forward. Obviously, it's a long way to go from now, but an excellent start from Rory. What do you think he has to do moving forward if he wants to come out on top here on Sunday?
He did everything across the board. When you look at his numbers today, the only thing he did kind of mediocre was putting. His shots gained approach was only about a half a shot, and that's usually a very strong point for Rory. But he's not the best on Bermuda, but he didn't lose shots. So I think that's kind of what Rory's going for, as long as he doesn't lose shots on the green. So I think if he does what he did today, 2 out of the next 3 rounds, he's going to be your champion.
Rory
Well,
McIlroy.
I heard there was some. I heard there was some drama also with Rory on the 15th hole with JT in front, playing in the group ahead of him, and JT and Rom were on the green, and apparently Rory went ahead and said, "I'm going to go ahead and go for the green here," and I think Rory's ball bounced right over JT's wedge, and Rom turned around and went. So, you see that sometimes on when us hacks are out on the course, somebody hits on top of you, you throw your hands up. Hey, what's that? Yeah. I guess it happens on the pro tour as well. So
that's good stuff. It's usually par 3s when I'm involved with that. I can't do it on the par 4s.
That's some awesome stuff there, Trace. And what a great experience for a guy like Tom Kim to be competing at already against some of these top names. And he is looking like a budding star. I mean, we saw that at the President's Cup, and really has solidified it there. And now he's really shown that he's been able to take his game over here to Congaree and produce and put up some low scores. So I can't be more impressed from what I've seen from this young guy, Tom Kim, and we definitely be talking about his name for a long time. And it's going to be really exciting to watch him throughout this rest of this tournament and beyond, because I really like what I'm seeing from his maturity and his ability to put a low score on the board.
Yeah, I agree. On the flip side, in terms of maturity, I mean, Jordan Spieth, he has these moments. I think he's up there with Rory, obviously a huge crowd favorite. We all seemingly love pulling for Jordan because it is a roller coaster, but he's got to stop with these like 2-foot misses and backhands. He lost over 2 shots on the greens today, 4 over par, and he was one of the favorites coming in.
Familiar with what we saw at some points during the series, but guess what? He was able to pull it out at the end there. Somehow able to catch some fire down the stretch and win the RBC Heritage. So I'm not going to doubt him at this point. I mean, but definitely going to be an uphill battle for Spieth going forward. But we'll see if he can complete the double here in the Lowco, win the Heritage and win the CJ Cup in Congaree in the same year. So, I mean, that should be exciting to see what he does. But it's a great leaderboard so far. Like we mentioned at the top, a lot of depth and I mean, a lot of great names to watch. Of course, Rory McIlroy, Terrell Hatton, and then a couple of other guys who have been notable throughout the last year of golf. Tom Hoagie right there at -3. Of course, Justin Thomas, Brian Harmon with a local connection at 3 under par. So good to see him playing well. So talk about that would be another great story is to see Harmon competing down the stretch. Former Players Amateur winner, I believe, and Justin knows him very well. So great to see Harmon playing well. But yeah, it's a great leaderboard so far. Anybody think maybe a little further down that could make a run and challenge here in this next day or so to get back in this thing?
Trace, who are you looking at outside those top leaders?
Yeah, I mean, one name, he's a little closer to the top. I've got another one that's a little bit further down, but one name that's a little bit closer to the top is Sung J M. He's one of the most just all around pure players on the tour. In my opinion, he's just so consistent. I feel like every tournament, he's always up, near the top. And I feel like it's almost due that he would break through for a big win. And what better tournament to do as a Korean himself than to, break through in the CJ Cup. So Sung J M's one that I'm really looking out for. Matt Fitzpatrick is another guy that can hit the ball a good ways. And he's pretty good with the putter. Sam Burns also. Those are kind of my 3 guys that aren't really, the top guys that are, up at the top of the leaderboard that I have my eyes on would be Sung J M, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Sam Burns. Those are the 3 that I would keep an eye on.
I like your style there, Trace. I like your style. You're 100% right, especially with M. I mean, the guy's a machine. Like, he's not going anywhere. Like, once he gets off to a good start, he is in it to win it. At the top, I mean, you had two guys that just were kind of quietly hovering there with Aaron Wise and Cameron Davis. Both of those guys have been strong. Aaron Wise has been on a heater. He didn't putt so well today, and he's one shot back. So watch out for Wise if he can tighten up the putter tomorrow and over the weekend. And yeah, further down, I think Fitzpatrick or Burns, I think either one of those guys could go out tomorrow and take it deep and get right back into the mix.
Yeah, as I mentioned, big day tomorrow. You want to make sure to be in within just a few strokes as you move towards the weekend. But I mean, Burns certainly was one of our picks who could come in there and look to steal this one, a nice sleeper pick. And then Fitzpatrick was my personal pick to win, and someone who can definitely turn it on with his ability to drive it down the fairway. Great power, good distance, and if he can get the putter going, it seems like that's always the factor. If you can get that hot putter going, and that could be the difference that puts you over the top. And speaking of putter, we got a fun story to tell you about. It involves Shane Lowry, and this is really cool. But unfortunate, kind of unfortunate for Shane Lowry, but it's a fun story to tell because he broke his putter today. He broke his putter on the 9th hole. And, it's certainly something that doesn't happen very often, but you got to have to get a replacement. So PGA Tour Superstore in Bluffton came up clutch and was able to help him get a replacement for that putter. And so that's great to see Lowco area store helping out with this thing. And, well, Lowry, it makes for a funny story going forward, and I'm not sure how a putter breaks like that, but it happened. But even so, he had a successful first round, bogey 3 under 68, and a nice day for Lowry, and one that he'll probably remember for a long time.
Well, as a former PGA Tour Superstore Bluffton supervisor, I will proudly the boys over at the Superstore coming up clutch for Shane Lowry. But that's another one of those moments. It's one of those things you look at and you're like, it really stinks for him. But it's funny to look at these pros, and as golfers ourselves, we go out on the golf course and the frustration can just mount when you're on the golf course, and it's just funny to see the same thing happen sometimes to the guys on tour, where you got people breaking clubs. We've seen clubs thrown in ponds. We've seen that before, so it's pretty funny and a great story when that happens on the big stage.
Yeah, Siwoo Kim was definitely the odds-on favorite to break a putter. So if you had the Shane Lowry ticket to break a club, you're the winner. But I love that he said it was accidental. The accidental putter break is
it's always accidental. It's always accidental.
Yeah, he drove all the way to Bluffton, which is still a decent long drive, almost like an hour, and he ended up getting a 35-inch Odyssey White hot OG 2-ball putter. Price tag of $229, and if you're a pro, you can afford something like that pretty easily. So that'll make for a good tale a couple years down the road from Shane Lowry. And he tweeted a image of the receipt from picking up that putter, and it gets those guys on the map over there at PGA Tour. That's great advertising. I mean, that'll work for you going forward. We were able to help out Shane Lowry, and maybe if he wins this thing, we got to owe it to the good folks over there at PGA Tour Superstore, and that means Trace Lothar, you're going to play a part in Shane Lowry taking putter.
Oh man, that's funny. That's good stuff. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off the call for the night, but I will be back at some point this weekend, and I look forward to being out there Saturday and Sunday. Like Wes said, if any of the viewers, if you guys get a chance to get out there to Congaree. It's an awesome place, and it's an awesome field. So good to see you guys.
Hey, Trace, before you head out, who's your pick?
Who's my pick? Rory
You
McIlroy.
know you're going to Rory. You know.
Rory McIlroy. I'm sorry.
That's an easy one.
I can't. I'm sorry.
I can tell you're a
You gotta
Justin
roll with
Jarrett.
Rory.
Oh my God.
Hey, as much as I want to, go with the underdog down on the board, we got to go with Rory, baby.
Nah, good pick.
It's a smart pick at this point. Oh,
That's right.
Thanks, Trey.
All right, guys. Appreciate it, guys.
See you.
Well, let's land the plane here and just talk about what's to come in the second round. And I mean, it's going to be, as you said, picture perfect Chamber of Commerce level weather here tomorrow. Just take me through what you're expecting to see going into Friday.
I think they'll have the course set up again pretty similar to today. I don't think they want any like crazy high scores, right? In terms of difficulty, that is. So I think they're going to set it up again where it's doable if you put the ball in the right spots type of deal. And then I think they'll amp it up on Saturday and Sunday and make it a little bit tougher as we come down the stretch. And I'm just interested to see who does make that big move tomorrow. I'm very fascinated. We love Victor Hovland. He's very easy to pull for. He's got everything in the bag outside of chipping and putting. That's kind of what scared me away from him this weekend for this tournament. But he played great today. I'm interested to see what he does tomorrow. And also kind of what Trace was talking about too, Sungjae Im, who's also a brand ambassador, to see if he makes a move to get up there with Tom Kim. And again, can Rory keep it moving?
Yeah, a lot of questions will be answered tomorrow in this second round, and it's shaping up to be a really fun CJ Cup. And it's just so grateful to see a field like this with 6 guys in the top 10, I believe like 15 guys in the top 20. It's just so much fun for us to cover an event like this, and certainly can enjoy it. I hope I'll be able to head over there and watch it live at Congaree tomorrow and then over the weekend. And but before we wrap this up, I think we're probably going to stick with our 2 picks, maybe. But if you have to do a redo now, are you going to stick with your guy Terrell Hatton, or are you Rory now?
That's right, man. I'm not leaving my boy. My guy is in perfect shape. He is sitting pretty there, 2 back. Don't forget, what was he, 4 or 5 shots out of the lead, maybe even more last year going into the final round. So no, Hatton is in perfect shape. I just hope he gets a good night's sleep tonight. He wakes up, does some yoga, it gets in a good mood, and goes out there nice and refreshed and just crushes it in that, nice early tee time that he will have tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a lot of great groups over here in this first 2 rounds. And I mean, you got Justin Thomas, John Rahm, you got Tom Kim, Rory McIlroy, and Ricky Fowler. And what a cool experience for Tom Kim to play with a guy like Rory, to kind of absorb and as they said, pick his brain a little bit and just kind of see what Rory does in a typical round and kind of learn from experience and see what he does. And what a great opportunity for Tom Kim. And it's going to be just a fantastic tournament. Tomorrow's going to be huge in terms of the big picture of this event. And I cannot wait to go over there and see this one. So second round tee times, going to be some excellent groups coming through. I mean, led by, as I said, Tom Kim and Rory McIlroy. And that's going to be a fun group, and it's 101. So one of the last groups to tee off here on Friday. So should be great to catch them. Definitely try to see as many golfers as I can. But then Fitzpatrick and Shane Lowry, another great group, teeing off at 12:25. Any other? Just looking through, Sam Burns and Victor Hovland are together. Siwoo Kim, that's another good group at 12:37. So a lot of those afternoon squads right near at the end. I mean, that's going to be much watched groups right there, and so it's going to be cool to see these guys come through if you go late in the day, because I mean, a lot of those guys are right up there at the top.
Yeah, 100%. And if you do go out there, it's a little bit different than than the Heritage. Like don't
Right.
go out there thinking it's going to be like the RBC Heritage. It's not a party scene. It's not, you know, a bunch of colorful trousers and sundresses. It's kind of like serious golf watching, if you will. And it's a little bit tough to get around the course. You empty your shoe out with sand when you're done walking, you know, 5-6 miles around the course. So, and it takes a little bit to get your bearings straight too. You can kind of get crisscrossed out there. So get out there, kind of get your bearings straight, get some food. The food is amazing. You know, CJ Group, one of their big things is food. They got some amazing food out there with the vendors. But go plop down somewhere and just enjoy these stars coming through. I mean, there's honestly not a bad group all day. Just plop down on the green and enjoy a good day of golf.
And there's so many fun vantage spots in that front nine to just sit and watch a green and then watch some other guys tee off. So, I mean,
Yep.
I remember going to the Palmetto Championship and a couple of those spots. I remember around 3 and 4. And then even a little before that, when you look at like holes 2 and there's like a little space between where you see guys teeing off and seeing guys putting. So a lot of good vantage points if you just want to sit there and watch some golf. And I'm just so excited to get back there. Palmetto Championship was fantastic. It was warm. It was hot out there, but this weather's going to be perfect. It's going to be an even better experience for watching golf. So can't wait to get out there tomorrow and see this thing in person. And we'll be right back here on Friday night to recap it. Going to be a busy day here at Lowco Sports tomorrow. Going to be a fun day. We've got a full slate of high school football to recap on Lowco Pigskin Live, and we got round 2 of the CJ Cup. So we hope you join us for both of those shows. And thank you so much for joining us here tonight. For Brian Rietveld, this is Wes Kerr. Until next time, go Lowco.